The needs at the roots of feelings. Judgments, criticisms, diagnoses, and interpretations of others are all alienated expressions of our needs. If someone says, "You never understand me," they are really telling us that their need to be understood is not being fulfilled. If a wife says, "You've been working late every night this week, you love your work more than you love me," she is saying that her need for intimacy is not being met. Judgments of others are alienated expressions of our own unmet needs. When we express our needs indirectly through the use of evaluations, interpretations, and images, others are likely to hear criticism. And when people hear anything that sounds like criticism, they tend to invest their energy in self defense, a counterattack. If we wish for a compassionate response from others, it is self defeating to express our needs by interpreting or diagnosing their behavior. Instead, the more directly we can connect our feelings to our needs, the easier it is for others to respond to us compassionately. If we express our needs, we have a better chance of getting them met. Unfortunately, most of us have never been taught in terms of needs. We are accustomed to thinking about what's wrong with other people when our needs have been fulfilled. Thus, if we want coats to be hung up in the closet, we may characterize our children as lazy for leaving them on the couch, or we may interpret our co workers as irresponsible when they don't go about their tasks the way we prefer them to. I was once invited to Southern California to mediate between some landowners and migrant farm workers whose conflicts had grown increasingly hostile and violent. I began the meeting by asking these two questions. What is it that you are each needing? And what would you like to request of other in relation to these needs? The problem is that these people are racist, shouted a farm worker. The problem is that these people don't respect law and order, shouted a landowner even more loudly. As is often the case, these groups were more skilled in analyzing the perceived wrongness of others than in clearly expressing their own needs. In a comparable situation, I once met with a group of Israelis and Palestinians who wanted to establish the mutual trust necessary to bring peace to their homelands. I opened the session with same questions. What is it you are needing, and what would you like to request from one another in relation to those needs? Instead of directly stating his needs, a Palestinian Mukhtar, who is like a village mayor, answered, "You people are acting like a bunch of Nazis." A statement like that is not likely to get cooperation of a group of Israelis. Almost immediately, an Israeli woman jumped up and countered Mukhtar. That was a totally insensitive thing for you to say. Here were people who had come together to build trust and harmony, but after only one interchange, matters were worse than before they began. This happens often when people are used to analyzing and blaming one another rather than clearly expressing what they need. In this case, the woman could have responded to the Mukhtar in terms of her own needs and requests by saying, for example, "I am needing more respect in your dialogue." Instead of telling us how you think how we are acting, would you tell us what it is we are doing that you find disturbing? It has been my experience over and over again, from the moment people begin talking about what they need rather than what's wrong with one another, the possibility of finding ways to meet everybody's needs is greatly increased. The following are some of the basic human needs we all share: autonomy, to choose one's dreams, goals, values, to choose one's plan for fulfilling one's dreams, goals, values; celebration, to celebrate the creation of life and dreams fulfilled; to celebrate losses, loved ones, dreams, etc., mourning; integrity, authenticity, creativity, meaning, self worth; interdependence, acceptance, appreciation, closeness, community, consideration, contribution to the enrichment of life; to exercise one's power by giving that which contributes to life. Interdependence continued. Emotional safety, empathy, honesty, the empowering honesty that enables us to learn from our limitations; love, reassurance, respect, support, trust, understanding, warmth, play, fun, laughter; spiritual communion, Beauty, harmony, inspiration, order, peace. Physical nurturance, air, food, movement, exercise, protection from life threatening forms of life, viruses, bacteria, insects, predatory animals, rest, sexual expression, shelter, touch, water.